Today's horoscope, Capricorn October 10th, 2024. Discover your future with my daily horoscope for you about love, work, health, money and compatibility with other signs. Jupiter turns retrograde in your work and health sector today. During this 4-month retrograde cycle, enthusiasm for work projects and health endeavors is still in place, but you may begin to see areas of excess that require toning down and adjusting. While it can be discouraging at first, it's, in fact, a very good time for looking at these activities and plans from a different, more realistic, or moderate perspective. This retrograde cycle, lasting until February 4th, can be a time for editing, reviewing, and researching. For the very best results, try not to take on more and instead focus on what you've already begun. It serves as a signal to temporarily avoid expanding. With today's transits, taking care of business or chores comes more naturally with a sense of purpose. You tend to go out of your way to support or help others today. Pour your energy into redesigning, renovating, and improving the work you do or into your efforts to improve health. A mighty shift is upon you. All planets besides our luminaries experience retrograde phases throughout the year. The outer planets, because they are so far from Earth, actually spend a significant chunk of the year in these sleepy phases. Gracious Jupiter, our great benefic, is now stationing retrograde over the coming days, which will slow down factors in regard to your solar house of employment. Luckily, this means that if you've been juggling a very hectic schedule, you could have more opportunities to date or for pleasure with your lover. Hop to it. What can you cut down on? Your work life has been go ever since Jupiter entered Gemini at the end of May 2024. It could be a lot to handle, especially when you consider your obligations. Thankfully, you have a chance to slow down and consider what you want in your work life when Jupiter stations retrograde in Gemini. Starting today, this retrograde will last until February 4th, 2025. During this time, you can determine what you can handle in your routine and adjust your habits to meet the demands of your job without feeling overwhelmed. Satisfying your natural urges is just what the doctor ordered this week. That's right, you are in charge of this. Try to focus on what you really want and then on giving it to yourself. Whether it's a walk by the beach to think over personal matters or a frank chat with your boss, there are certain things that only you can provide. You sometimes sink into the habit of thinking that what you want most deeply is something or some emotion only others can give you. Wake up from this coma and begin nurturing yourself. Organized and pragmatic, you tend to refuse any opportunity to dream. You are currently trying to wrap up some big files and are neglecting your friends and family. You hate having to use your imagination and only savor moments that you entirely master. This should evolve rapidly, and the current vibrations will be strongly encouraging this. In terms of health, you should change the way you eat and get a little bit more exercise. The celestial activity today is notably dynamic, with cosmic alignments influencing both job and career aspects just as Jupiter embarks on its retrograde journey in your work sector. Concurrently, Venus and Mars enhance personal and professional connections, making it an auspicious day for building friendships and relationships. Amidst these significant developments, the Moon's routine monthly visit to Capricorn offers an opportunity every 4 weeks to engage more deeply with your emotions and intuition. Although this may appear less important compared to other events, the Moon arrives at a crucial time, assisting you in navigating Pluto's final days of retrograde motion in Capricorn. Whether it is the doors that Uranus is holding open to the past and second chances on the romantic front, or the support for Mars in your relationships that is coming from Venus, the planet of love, making time for both is important and requires some compromise. As you move into a few days where your work and life balance might come under pressure, it is more important than ever to pay attention. Daily Planetary Overview. Have you ever had one of those days where, despite your best efforts, things just don't seem to go your way? It's easy to fall into the trap of blaming yourself when things don't pan out as expected. But remember, not everything is within our control. Sometimes, it's simply the circumstances around us that conspire to make things more challenging. Today, the energy is calling for you to take a step back, relax, and let things unfold as they will. If something doesn't work out the way you hoped, don't be too hard on yourself. Instead, take a moment to pamper yourself and acknowledge that you're doing the best you can. Have you ever noticed that sometimes when we let go, new opportunities seem to appear out of nowhere? That's the kind of vibe today is offering. By giving yourself permission to pause, you might just find that what you thought was a setback opens the door to something entirely new and unexpected. Sometimes the best thing you can do is let things run their course and allow the universe to do its work. During this time, it's important not to be too competitive. There's no need to interpret everything others say or do as a challenge. In fact, that kind of thinking can lead to unnecessary tension in your relationships. Whether it's with a potential partner, a friend, or even a coworker, be mindful of how you're communicating. You might feel a bit forceful today without even realizing it, which can create misunderstandings or disagreements. Have you ever found yourself in a conflict that, in hindsight, could have been easily avoided? Today, try to keep things light and avoid getting caught up in power struggles. If you're feeling exhausted by all the emotional push and pull, don't hesitate to spend some time alone. Sometimes, solitude is the best way to clear your mind and regain clarity. Speaking of clarity, the doubts you're feeling right now are temporary. If you're struggling to make a decision or come to a conclusion, give yourself some grace. Eventually, things will become clearer, and you'll feel more confident in moving forward. Have you ever had that moment of realization after a period of confusion, where everything suddenly made sense? That's what's on the horizon for you. Trust that when the time is right, you'll know what to do and the outcome will be something positive. But it's not just romantic relationships that benefit from today's energy. Friendships, family bonds, and even your relationship with yourself can all be nurtured and uplifted under these cosmic influences. Maybe today is a great time to reach out to a friend you haven't spoken to in a while or to spend some quality time with the people who matter most to you. Relationships of all kinds thrive when we show up with an open heart and a willingness to connect on a deeper level. What's one relationship in your life that could use a little extra love and attention today? Take a moment to reflect on that and consider how you might nurture it. Whether it's a quick text to check in or a longer heart-to-heart, the effort you put into your connections today will go a long way. As the day progresses, you'll likely feel a beautiful shift in energy. The moon aligns with expansive Jupiter, bringing a wave of optimism, lightness, and possibility. It's as if the heavy, reflective energy of the morning lifts, and in its place, there's a sense of joy and hopefulness that sweeps over you. Have you ever noticed how, when you're in a good mood, it seems to ripple out to those around you, spreading positivity like wildfire? Today, that's the kind of energy you're exuding. Your laid-back, relaxed vibe will be magnetic, drawing people toward you and uplifting the atmosphere wherever you go. This shift also brings clarity, allowing you to see problems from different perspectives. Suddenly, compromises that once felt impossible start to look more achievable. You're able to find solutions that work for everyone involved, and that's a powerful skill. Today, luck is on your side, especially when it comes to financial matters. If you've been considering an investment or a new venture, now might be the time to go for it. Trust your instincts, but also remember to be cautious. Don't push your luck too far. Have you ever felt like everything was aligning perfectly, and you knew exactly when to make your move? That's the kind of energy you'll be working with today. Be patient, stay open, and the right opportunity will present itself.